Hi everyone, how are you today? I am finally back. First of all, I apologise for not being around so much. As a lot of you know, we've been moving house and then offices and all that kind of stuff, so it's been a bit crazy. Second of all, if the lighting and the sound and stuff isn't amazing today, I'm hoping to get it better. This is just the first live that we're doing from the new premises above Burton Gertz in Sutton Coldfield, and yeah, it's a bit of a kind of work in progress at the moment. So Natasha behind me is working super hard to your orders. It's super plain in here at the moment, but we just kind of literally moved in. So yeah, we're going to make all these look pretty, and we're going to be doing loads more YouTubes as we used to do every week, and there's lots more coming as well that I'm going to tell you about in a few minutes. So I'll just let everybody kind of join in. I'm just making sure everything's working okay. Is it streaming all right? Natasha, would you just go on your phone as well and mute it, but just make sure that it's not too stilted or anything, because oh, there we go, Natasha's on there already, so that's great. And yeah, if there is any technical problems or anything, please let me know in the chat. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name's Claire from Claire Manning Creative, and I do stamp designs, stencil designs, card making, demonstrations and inspiration for you using those designs, and I'm also a demonstrator on the Hobby Maker channel, so there's lots to come. So if you haven't been here for a while, welcome back as well. It's been a long month. So I thought what I'd do is I released some new stencils the end of last week on Friday, direct on the website, which there's a link at the bottom, so do pop on there if you just want to have a mooch, get some inspiration, or if there's anything that you see me use in the demonstrations today. There's tons and tons of reductions at the moment. Obviously, moving premises means that sometimes you need to free up some space. So there's still lots of things. Some are sold out, unfortunately, but there's still lots of other things on the website that are half price or more, some of them, just so we can clear some space for some brand new designs and lots of exciting things to come. So before I'd go into the demonstration, I won't bore you too much, but I just want to give you some other bits of news of what's coming up. Hi Angela, hi Nola. I think everyone's getting their notifications now of the YouTube. It's an impromptu one. Normally I do 6 p.m. on a Monday. That may well change now we're in this office and I'm not doing the lives from home, only because of travelling home and things like that. So it may be at this time 3 on a Monday. I definitely want to still keep to a Monday if possible, and then sometimes we do extra ones anyway, don't we? But it's nice to be back anyway. So what other news have I got for you? So yeah, 2 new sets of stencils went on the website. Also later on this week we've got the first of a really exciting kind of new range to Claire Manning Creative, and it's something me and Natasha have been working on, and it's completely different. It's not actually craft related, but I think it's going to be something that complements the kind of style we have and the craft side of it, and you're going to be able to get some really interesting new types of products. So do stay tuned for that as well. There'll be loads more on social media about that coming later on in the week. And then next week, I'm back on Hobby Maker again at on the 1st, which is next Wednesday, I think, is it? I'll check. At 2 and 4. So that's kind of my usual slot near the start of the month for brand new releases. Let me check the date for you. Yeah, 1st is next Wednesday, so just before that lovely long bank holiday. But anyway, do let me know how you've been. I don't feel like I've chatted to any of you guys for ages. Pop in the comments and say hi and let me know how you've been. If you're watching on catch up, do leave me a comment as well, because I know, having not scheduled this one as I normally do at the 6 o'clock, some of you might be watching later on. So should we have a look at those stencils? And poor Natasha probably doesn't want to be in the back, does she? So I'm just going to switch to the overhead camera, and I might have to change my lighting slightly because, oh no, that's okay. I was thinking I was going to get a bit of glare. So let's have a look. I've got a few things out. I've got a few stamps from last month's release to hand. So I've got the World's Best, which was that lovely globe one with the blossoms. So we're going to combine these in with the new stencils, and I've got Biggest Cheerleader, which is one of the large sentiment stamps. And then just so I've got this piece of black just so I can show you the shapes of the new stencils. So you may have had before the must-have masks from our brand, and they were always 4 6x6 stencils and then mask pieces. So these, let me just turn that light off, it's a bit glary. That's a bit better, isn't it? Sorry about any shadows, I will get that right and all the lighting. So these ones, I've called them must-have stencils rather than must-have masks, but you do get some mask pieces as well. So you've got that lovely hibiscus, and we're going to layer up. I thought we'd just have a play today, and might make a specific card, but I thought we would have a play with them so you can see all the different designs in them. So you do get the mask as well. I just haven't done a lot of the kind of small fiddly bits. So I thought if I put the big flower in for you, then you can mask that over so you can put your leaves wherever you want. So that's the first one in the summer shape set. Then we've got this lovely sunset, I think. We did one before and it was just a kind of larger piece of this, which was like sunrise. So I have put that mask piece in so you can do different colours if you want there. I've had fun with the blob ones doodling. Yeah, the splodges ones, really popular. In fact, I think they're the most popular since we did the very first kind of basic shape set. So we're trying to get a little bit more adventurous for you now and do some different styles. And then we've got this lovely palm leaf that I've put the mask piece in for you as well. And you'll notice it's a similar shape, but not the same as the tropical stencil that you have with the flamingo, released at the same time as the flamingo. So because it's a different size and a slightly different design, you're going to be able to kind of add that in if you want to. So you've got more different size options, or you can use it in its completely own way. Layer up with that hibiscus would be really nice. And then the final one in this set is this really cool like lemon and limes ones. So you get the mask pieces for those. And again, you can layer on then and put the little leaves however you want coming out from the lemons. So we'll have a little play with that too. So that's the summer shapes. Oh, I'm so pleased you enjoyed your happy post, Angela. Nola, how are things for you? I feel like I'm closer to you these days. Now being in Sutton, is that right? And then the second set that was in Friday's release is this modern abstract. So you've got one or two kind of larger shapes like the other ones. So that lovely curved design. Sorry if there's other bits in the shot. And then you've got all these ones that you can build up. There's lots of like arches and fun things in home decor at the moment. Have you noticed a lot of this kind of, what would you call it, this kind of abstract fun shapes? And I thought if you'd have them all separate, you can layer them up over each other, use different colours. You could create home decor pieces as well as cards. And again, something different then if you need cards or things that are maybe slightly less feminine than the flowers and stuff, but you could still really mix them in. Yes, Claire, I need to find out where you are so we can visit. Yes, so Sutton Coldfield Town Centre, we now have a space for Claire Manning Creative in the Burton Gertz shop, but also in that shop is obviously Jason Wilkes from Burton Gertz. He's got his stamp and stencil designs in there as well, but also there's loads of like gifty, artisan, artists, There's even a lady that does amazing brownies. It's basically a shop where they support small businesses, so we all have a small amount of space and we can all kind of use the space together to grow our small businesses without the giant overheads of all having individual shops. So that's Mark and Jason's kind of idea of putting the shop together, and they run a lot of artisan markets as well throughout the West Midlands, so and further afield even. So it's a great place to visit. It's a lovely town centre anyway. So I'm here a lot. Obviously me and Natasha are upstairs in the office, so you can always message me, and even if I'm not working in the shop that day, although I do a couple of days a month, then I can always pop down and see you if I'm here. Hi Karen and Cleo. So let's see what we can do with these and mix in a few stamps as well. So I've just got a load of cardstock chopped up really. One big piece to see whether we can do one big 8x8 card, because I never do those. And then I just cut a load of 5x7 pieces so we can just have a mess around and use some inks. So the first thing that I thought of is let's do some ink blending like we've done with a lot of the other masks and stencils and see how that goes, and then maybe mix in some heat embossing and stuff as well. Natasha, would you see if you can find the heat tool somewhere? I think there's a few floating around, isn't there? Let's do the kind of the modern abstract one first and mix in some of these arches, I think. So I'm hoping we'll get a kind of clean and simple meets modern. So I wonder if I do layer on something like that. Oh, fabulous, thank you. And I want to try and get a tonal look for this one. Maybe some greens or something. Need some kind of lighter shades and darker shades. I don't know whether you remember when we did the splodges and we kind of layered them up, and we started with the lighter shades first and then built up to the darker ones. So I thought I might do something similar. Just trying to find the right colours. Right then, let's go. So I've got 3 different greens and then a black. I don't know whether I'll go for the black, but we'll see. So let's start off with the greens and see what we get. Karen, you've been painting today? Brilliant. And you've been using your stamps as well? Fab. So we kind of got 2 ways that we can put our ink down on these. You've probably seen me before do like an ombre effect where you go more solid and then into a slightly lighter. But I feel like I want it more solid for this today. Dropping everything on the floor. So yeah, if you're just joining, hi. Sorry, the lighting and setup isn't exactly how I want it yet here. We're getting there, but as I say, we were only in last week. And then we had tons of orders, so we just caught up on all that and other bits and pieces that we needed to catch up on, and then now we're kind of the rest of the unpacking and getting everything exactly how we want, so we can hopefully give you even better demos and inspiration. So it's not perfect yet, but we're getting there. So let's go. Definitely want that arch somewhere, but I also want some of these bits too. Let's do the arch bit next. Kind of maybe layered here. Do you want that in the bright or the dark? Let's go this one. Hi, Margaret. So obviously you can mask off using some tape, any other bits if you want to. So already that's starting to look quite modern and fun. Very almost kind of like, is it like a late 60s, early 70s feel to it? I'm not feeling that green's going. Let's see what other greens I've got. Ooh, maybe a bit of that mixed in. That might be fun. Like a mustardy colour. There's a crushed olive there as well. I think that's about it on the green front, apart from more kind of bright style ones. It depends what kind of look you're after, doesn't it, and who it's for. Let's try some of this crushed olive. And how about let's put see if we can layer just a little sneaky peek of that one coming through. And then I want some of this somewhere here maybe. Another circle. Oh, I don't know. Now let's get this one. I want to leave a fair bit of white space down there. Okay, so that's quite fun. And then this kind of line strip. Oh, hi Elizabeth, how are you? Hi anyone else that's joining. And I want to kind of do a black strip somewhere to kind of join all this together. So you can imagine that if you have a play around with stencils like this, is that everyone could look completely different if you wanted it to. Depending on the colour, depending on the positioning, kind of gets you to look at shapes and things in a different way. But then also imagine things like stamping over some of your flowers if you wanted to make it look more feminine or give it a different look like we did with the splodges ones. Yeah, very retro. Feels like I've not crafted in ages. Oh, Margaret, same here. I feel like all we've done is like practical stuff, packing and unpacking and all that kind of thing, and not had enough time. Yeah, let's show you what I mean and see if I reckon if we had one of these kind of flowers with a sentiment, that's going to give that a completely different feel. So for me, that would work amazingly as a guy's card or somebody who's into more retro things as it is, just with the sentiment. But yeah, let's see if we can get what looks like something quite masculine to feel a bit more girly by adding one of the world's best. And while I'm there, just a little reminder, we've got the competition ending later. If you have got this world's best stamp and you've got time this afternoon, you've got a really good chance of winning a £50 gift card, well, e-gift card, because there's only been a couple of entries so far, but if you make a card with this, it's the last day, so you've only got a couple of hours, and pop it in the Facebook group. There's an album there. Then you could win £50 to spend on the Clay Manning Creative website. Hi Roxy, don't worry, it was very impromptu. I did mean to say last week that I'll probably be changing the time of my lives now we're in the new premises. Doesn't that completely change it? So yeah, it probably won't be 6 anymore on a Monday. I definitely want to stick to Monday. It may be 3. I'm going to have a think and a sit down and confirm definitely for next week. But I thought at least if we can get one done, test. This is almost like a bit of a test one for me, to be honest, to see whether we even have the right connection. Like obviously the lighting's not quite right, but sometimes you don't know. You can do all the prep in the world and you don't actually know until you do it whether it's going to work. Does that make sense? Any limit on the number of times to enter? No, if you want to do more than one card, Karen, but you'll only, as a person, get entered in once. The draw will be from the names that enter. So I think we just need a sentiment on that now, don't we? That's quite a nice little mix. I don't have the stamp, so I can't enter. Okay, don't worry about this one. I'll be doing that, things like that. It's just an extra, really. Why can't I fit that on? Oh, there we go. You know, we do different types of competitions at different times, so we thought we'd try it with a particular type of stamp set. What should we have? You make my heart happy? That looks nice, isn't it? Hi Tracy, how are you? Still want to leave a lot of this bit white. I think it needs to go over here, do you? I'm trying not to line things up kind of too much either. Silly little things like, do I want to have that lined up? Or do I want to have it slightly offset? Actually, I don't know whether I want it lined up. But you can play around with these things and just see what looks good to your eye. No worries, Roxy. I must say this is my kind of favourite sentiment set right now. I keep going back to it and back to it. That's kind of completely different to the kind of thing we normally do, isn't it? Half modern and then mixed up with a bit of the flowers as well. Let's try another one. Let's see if we can get another kind of style. Let's have a play with the summer ones, shall we, this time? But yeah, there's kind of, with that abstract one, there's kind of infinite amount of different options that you could do, really, isn't there? Oh, let's do a big piece. So I've got a slightly smaller than 8 by 8. I thought I'd make an 8 by 8 card. So let's try the hibiscus, I think, which is this one. And if you like hibiscus and those type of summery flowers, there's some fun stuff coming up with that kind of vibe stamp-wise as well. I think we need some really nice bright colours for this. Yeah. So we've got 2 ways of using the mask piece. I can either ink the flower first, then mask off and do the leaves, or I can do the leaves and kind of hold the mask over, but I think I'll just do it the simple way, shall I? And I'm going to put this card, if it works out okay. Oh, Tracy, you've got points to spend. That's a really good thing to note actually as well, because if you haven't used our website before, you get points for every purchase that you make, and then you can save them up or use them, you know, periodically for a bit of a discount. Go for it, Tracy. Will I be in the shop on Saturday, Nola? Let me check. Can I let you know on that one? It's not my scheduled kind of shop shift day, but I am planning on doing some kind of demo days or being around a little bit more on Saturday, so I'll let you know. If you're going to make a trip, I'm sure I can be around. So what I thought I'd do is, there's a Facebook group as well. You know, obviously we've got CM Creatives if you're looking for inspiration using our designs, but there's also another Facebook group called Clean and Simple Card Making, and that is owned by Jason Wilkes from Burton Gertz. And I didn't even realise until a little while ago he had this beautiful group. There are so many people on it, it's crazy, and it's a card group specifically for clean and simple card making. So it's not one where you know everybody posts everything they make. It's specifically designed to get people into that kind of clean and simple mode if it's not something you used to, or if you love it and you can create loads of cards like that to give other people inspiration. So have a look at it, and there are kind of rules to follow with it to make sure it fits with that theme, and part of that is because there are so many people on there. Just trying to find something low tack to keep that down. I'll just hold it. That inevitably it would end up that people were posting things that didn't quite fit that theme. And of course there are loads of other card making groups and things like that if you've got different styles, but this one is specifically for clean and simple card making. So one of the rules being that is, you know, there's plenty of white space and things like that, or whatever background colour space that you're using. I'm just layering over my leaves here. So I thought one of the cards I make here today, I will post on there as well. So have a look at it. If you haven't been on before, it's amazing. And some of the ones that people make, particularly if you're the kind of person that struggles with going too far sometimes. See how simple that was? So just laid over the hibiscus mask. It'd be easier if you've got a little bit of low tack tape. Just haven't got any to hand in one of my zillion boxes. But sometimes, even me I like to think of myself as enjoying a lot of clean and simple card making. Sometimes it's so easy to go a bit too far, isn't it? Do you think? Yeah, you've seen that group as well, Tracy? It's fab. So I thought this, I mean, you could build this up, couldn't you? You could build that up with, should we put a monastery leaf on it as well? I feel like I don't want to ruin it, do you know what I mean? Where's the, do you think it needs that behind it? Kind of scared to go too far. No, I've said it's going to be clean and simple. I'm using the wrong piece for a start. That's how I'm out of practice. What if I did like part of it? Oh, I don't know. Do I want to do that? I feel like it's going to cover that leaf as well. Oh, let's risk it. Risk it for a biscuit. I'm doing what's this one? The pistachio one. I think that's it. I'm not adding any more leaves. You could go on, is what I'm saying. You could mask them off and you could do a whole big design on there. So that's definitely a clean and simple, isn't it? And then I just want to do this huge, I'm your biggest cheerleader, and maybe some little water droplets or something. And I think that would make a good clean and simple card. What do you think? I think it would fit with the theme within that group. I'm rubbish at leaving loads of white space. End up putting splats of sequins. Well, yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? It's so hard. Just going to turn this the other way. This piece of card is a bit big really to do it on that side. It is hard. I suppose when I'm doing something like this, I try and stay within that kind of arena. So even if I am going to do splats or sequins or something, I don't do them all over. And that seems to keep the eye in that in the correct place and drawing your eye in. It's so hard to kind of quantify what you mean by what looks right to the eye, isn't it? Because what some person would like might be, what is it, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? And the less I'm doing, the more I'm faffing now and thinking about it too much. When I've got lots of layers and lots of things to do, I tend to like not stress about it too much. I think I'm going to do another version of this card in a minute with some heat embossing. £8 in points, nice. Well, the new stencils, they're $8.99 each set, so that's the four designs in each one. But if you buy them together, you save 10%, so I think it takes it down to £16 something. 16.80, Natasha's telling me. So you save a few pennies doing that. Is that a stretch, Natasha? So I think we can just add some water droplets to this, and then I'm just going to have a go, whether I'll turn it into card or not, I don't know, but I'll have a go at heat embossing that hibiscus. Oh, can nearly buy the whole set, there we go. I don't even know how many points I have. Log in, check it out, please. Check it out. The one thing I find about doing clean and simple is I have to make sure I've got fairly clean hands when I'm doing this last bit of putting it together, because I end up smudging, do you? You ladies are enablers. Totally. Right, so I've got some water droplets. They were out of stock. I have got a few more of these in, but there's not zillions. I need to do some big, I haven't been able to do such big orders for these kind of things for a little while, because I just haven't had the storage with the move. So I've had to order things in kind of like smaller quantities than I normally do. So that's why you might have seen some things come in and out of stock more quickly. In fact, one thing I should mention about stock is that we had a return the other day of a B stamp. Just somebody who changed their mind. There's nothing wrong with it, but I know there was loads of you on a waiting list for it, so I've put it back on the website, but there literally is one. So it should have emailed you if you press the let me know when it's back in stock button. What do you think? I think that qualifies as a clean and simple card, do you? Nice and summery, nice and pretty. So, and then we've got that one, which is completely different and kind of modern and retro-y. So let's just have a quick go, as I say, not necessarily as a card. Oh, I know, let's do it on the black. I kind of like these lines where I don't plan it as much and we just kind of go with it. I'll cut, it's navy actually, this card. The light got me then. And let's do it with just the mask and the smaller leaves. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to do I'm going to do the lemons. I'm going to do the lemons or limes. So I need those two. And I need a nice, well, my lemons will be gold. Yes, let's do that. Get your craft on. Love it. So all I'm doing now is I'm going to put my stuff at this corner. So I'm thinking about kind of where my lemons are going to be. Yeah, let's do heat emboss the lemons first and then it'll make sense. Got a bit of anti-static. May as well go straight from the pad. No, I can't because of the extra bits. I need a small brush. This will do. I've got this, put this aside because I've used it with in my heat embossing ink, but you could use a sponge or another type of brush as well. I hope this will work. Might not be as kind of flat and perfect as using a sponge, but actually it might give us a kind of, you know, like that dimpled effect you get on a lemon anyway, which would be quite cool. Ooh, gold lemons, lovely. Just need to clean that up slightly. Just gone over the edge a slight little bit. Heat set that one and then I'll do another lemon. Actually, it really has gone quite smooth, that. That's quite cool. Let's get the stencil back out and do the other shape one. And have it slightly different position. Let's see if we do this one a little bit more mottled. A little test. I'm not going in a second time and seeing how, whether that makes a difference with that. And then we just need to put some leaves on that now. So I'm hoping, because I'm using an oxide which is kind of more pigment based, I'm hoping that if I layer up the masks, I mean, probably don't need to really, I can probably just pop it on the end, but just so I don't go over too much. That one, that one. To stop it overlapping too much. And then we can, I need to find my hollow tap tape roller. Yeah, because it's pigment based, it should almost give us like a chalky look on this navy. Cute. And let's try some over here. That one can move. And then I've got this single little leaf. I mean, this even looked like a little slice one if you wanted that. I'm just going to swap to the twisted section. Just to give it a bit of depth with a different shade. Do a couple of those. Great for if you're not a massive colourist and you're not really into pens and things like that so much. Anybody can put a little bit of ink on a brush onto a stencil, can't they? So that's quite fun. Something very summery, something very different than your flowers. And then I'm going to do my sentiment for this one on white card just to make it pop a little bit more. I'm loving how they're nice and shiny, those little lemons are. Just pop that aside for a second. What shall we have? Let's have Happy Days. That sounds nice for that fun summery card, doesn't it? So I just need a bit of scrap. It's upside down. Okay, just chop that down a little bit. There we go. Just need one more card blank. Excuse me for a second, I'll go and grab it. I mean, I think it can be easy to do big cards like this in a clean and simple form because you've automatically got a large space to fill, but you can still get a kind of feel of this even on your smaller cards if, like me, you do a lot of 5x7s. Just maybe even keep to one corner. I always find that easier than doing stuff in the centre if I want it to look clean and simple. But just have it, you know, hanging off the edge of that. I've just smudged all that ink, look, because I didn't set it. It's a bit silly. It's gone like chalky. No horse today. No, he's not in the office with us anymore. So what I will have to do is make sure, obviously we won't be coming into the shop or anything here, but make sure I do maybe some Facebook Lives. There might not necessarily be demo ones because all my stuff will be here. But maybe some Facebook Lives from home when I'm showing you new things or something. So you can still get to see horse. Would you like that? Because otherwise you're not going to get to see him, are you? And everybody will miss him. So don't forget as well, as your inks and your embossing, if you've got your glitter paste, would look great with these kind of stencils. So you could put ink underneath, or you could do mix ink in with your paste. I'm just going to put some more little droplets. So I've got a few flying around here. So yeah, inks, paste, pens, pretty much anything you can do with stencils. If you want to make it almost into a stamped type image, fine liner around the edge, and then you can colour it in using your pens or your pencils and your paints if you fancy doing that. So you know me, I love stencils. I think they're one of the most, we do lots of stamps and things and dies and stuff as well, but I think stencils are one of the most versatile. Swap that. Okay. Can I get it off? No. It's going to have to stay. There we go. So again, tons and tons of blank space. I'll photograph them nicely because, as I say, the lighting isn't amazing here. But three completely different looks. And got some ideas to play around with. If you have seen anything you like, as I say, there's the link below. This week's flash deal is the tagged die set, so there's always something that I do. Normally they're around half price for you each week, and there's tons and tons of new stuff coming. Let me just switch my camera back. Oh, see, the lighting's so bad. I need to get this sorted. Better. But thank you for joining in, guys. Definitely try the Clean and Simple. I'm going to post those in the Facebook group now, and the Clean and Simple Facebook group. And I will see you. I'm trying to think if I've got one in the other Crafting Together with All Brands. I'll see if I can squeeze one of those in this week as well. I'll definitely see you back here next Monday. I'll confirm the time, and then next Wednesday is Hobby Maker again. Bye guys, have a great day. Bye.
Is that right?
Good.